But yeah, welcome everybody to Glentendo Circuit number 15. Don't be fooled by last week's Glentendo Circuit 15. That was actually Glentendo Circuit 14. I just lost count. Yeah, it's me, Crystalodian, here for another week of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I always struggle like hyping up Mario Kart 8 because it's an old game now, right? But it's definitely the definitive Mario Kart to have right now. The record-breaking sales game of the Nintendo Switch, the highest selling game of the Nintendo Switch, only being caught up by things like Animal Crossing, Smash, but even Smash hasn't even caught up, which is confusing. You just think about it, but the accessibility, it makes sense. But anyways, yeah, so welcome to your weekly fix here on Master Hand Channel. We got some more of the usual friends. We got Kugi, as you can see, back this week. We missed him during Teamdo Circuit. It was a little busier. I think his internet was out, something like that. And then, yeah, we have Kunio, of course, holding it down with us, as always. I believe Melpool, Moral Atheist, all joining us today. I don't know if anyone else is coming aboard, but I did see some people before I went live that are entered. Again, a lot of our usual friends, including Fate, who's just a mainstay these days. I appreciate him coming out all the time, and he's been actually on a bit of a roll. I think he won last week, and then he's been winning Teamdo Circuit. He's been everywhere. Actually, let me fact check myself. I'm gonna look at the Glentendo Circuit Discord, which you can find within the Master Hand Discord, if you're interested in that kind of thing, where he lists all the top 8. So I'm gonna look and see. Fate did indeed win Glentendo Circuit last week, with LVZ coming in second and Kugi in third. And Fate got second during the Teamdo Circuit on Tuesday, the very flawed format that we're looking to replace pretty much ASAP. But it is still here for right now. Actually, I'm not sure if it's still here for right now. As of today, I'm going to say yes. But as of Tuesday, like 2 days from now, it might be gone. I don't know. I'm really hoping so. We'll see what Glenn's got up his sleeve for this week. I do want to apologize ahead of time. I was intending to have a whole brand new presentation for this week where, I introduce some new stream tech, some commentator cams, and some other fun stuff that I've been working on behind the scenes. Unfortunately, I did not get to finish all of that before going live today, so I hope you guys will excuse me for that, but no big deal. So we're just going to chill like we usually do here. Nothing really all too new or different to look at today, outside of the races themselves. So with that, it does look like Kunio's off to a very hot start today. Kugi working a little bit behind, maybe looking... Dustin a little bit of rust off the cart for the meantime. Looks disappointed. That's fine, though, man. Some days the Mario Kart's on your side. Some days it's really not. But we are just getting started. There you see Fate and Vertex taking 1 and 2. Those are two names that have been making themselves known during Glentendo Circuits. Apparently not really coming from the mainline, or our mainline tap into the competitive player base, which is usually through Kart Clash. Again, you can find that Discord through the Master Hand Gaming Discord. Linked to pretty much all of these channels you're watching right now. Twitch, YouTube, you could find the link. But in either case, yeah, so usually we get a lot of our competitive players out of Kart Clash, but I believe Fate comes on his own accord from other places, and also so does Vertex. So we're starting to make some legends in our own right. That's actually very exciting to me. Glad to have you guys join us every single week and having a good time. It has been a good time streaming these. It's a very welcome change from the usual stuff on this channel, which is changing all the time. So I'm glad this has sort of been at the front of that. It's been pretty fun to work with, and honestly, I think it's really just getting started. I think there's a lot more that can happen with these circuits. And with that in mind, here we go. Off to Sunshine Airport. So that's, oh wait, no, we're not Sunshine Airport at all. I'm struggling a little bit today. I am missing Nintunist. Nintunist is a little bit busy, might be joining us in a little bit. As I mentioned, I did just sort of hop over here from dinner, so I'm like having one of those days where I get here and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm streaming Mario Kart right now. But we'll get into it. So Kunio continuing to be off on his fast start, looking at Fate and Vertex dropping right behind him. We'll see. Fate is really the name to get past these days. He's, like I said, he's been winning. He's new to these. Vertex also relatively new. I think his first 2 circuit appearances took second place and first place respectively. Pretty impressive considering we have people grinding this stuff out now for like nearly, you know, we're 3.5 months into these circuits. So considering we've had people grinding out that much within these circuits, and again, a lot of our competitive player base that comes in here, it's pretty impressive to come in here and just sort of done. Wow, man, getting the crazy 8 in 4th place. I'm just watching Cunio just driving like a madman. Good lord. And honestly, it looks like it's panning out. He's been reckless and all over the place. Meanwhile, I did see Adam also getting caught up in that big mess. That is another person coming from Kart Clash. Our good friends there. I don't know if we're going to expect to see Knight today. Hopefully we do. But his boys are here. I do see the Pirate Hacker gang. So let's see. It does look like everybody, at least that we have the point of view of, is currently in the same race. Aside from Melpool doing his thing on Music Park, I don't know who's in his lobby, so we're going to keep an eye on that as everything else goes on. It does look like our streamer's having a little bit of a rough day today. A little bit of mid-pack chaos going on. Moral just going all the way off the rails there. Lokito gonna grab him before he totally falls off. And oh no, that is the worst. Looking like you're gonna be in 5th place, and before you know it, you drop 5 spots. So that's gonna be a rough one. Meanwhile, Cunio and Kugi both in rough places. And I do see Liam Lynx also taking 3rd. Liam also streams for us quite a bit. Not streaming today, just gonna focus on playing. And sometimes that's a good strategy. Sometimes a good strategy. It's there's a whole different level of focus you get with the Mario Kart races. I do see Mr. M also in there. I recognize that me anywhere. I could never miss such a thing. So while these guys get all slated for the next race, I'm gonna see if I could see what the story is with Melpool, who is still going. On his last lap of Music Park, currently in 3rd place. I want to see who's in this lobby, what's going on. And oh my god, I guess 1st and 2nd place that already finished by now. Does catch that blue shell in 3rd, doesn't really matter, makes it back. Safely securing 3rd place behind Ursa Major and Takamarth. Okay, yeah, so that's one of those lobbies that's a little bit empty at the moment, but Ursa Major and Takamarth, both very good players in their own right. Ursa Major being one of those guys joining us from way back when we first kind of started this thing. So with that, here we are off the Baby Park, everybody's most loathed and hated race. And it does look like Melpool, by the way, has found some friends, so that's going to be fun for him. But before that race goes off, we're going to definitely keep it here to Baby Park, see what's going on. And yeah, so looks like Mel has caught up with Cunio, while Moral Atheist is going to continue to rock it with Kugi over on Baby Park and see whose RNG is a little better today. Baby Park is just notorious for tilting players of all skill levels, good, bad, ugly, beautiful. Makes everybody mad. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's literally a baby mode level, and it's all dictated by the madness of the items and everything. But there's people who skill it out all the time. People who skill it out all the time and still make it work. Speaking of which, looks like Kugi's doing his best hand at that, hanging in there mid-pack towards the higher end of the pack. Now armed with a mushroom and a trio of green shells. So we'll see what kind of use he can make out of that. Meanwhile, Moral does get past him. Does bump past whoever that Peach was. There's Liam. It looked like possibly taking the race or 2nd. Okay, yeah, so Adam takes 1st, actually, with the White Yoshi, followed by Liam and Kugi and Moral. There we go, Baby Park. That's Baby Park for you. Gets very cutthroat, ruthless, and like I said, just kind of tilts people. But anyways, here we are. Oh no, that hurts, man. Hitting that part of the wall, especially when you're in the mid boost, totally cutting off your entire momentum. That's gonna be Melpool looking to fight his way back in, but not in a terrible place. Being on lap 2 and in 11th place is not nearly as bad as being obviously 11th place on lap 3 or anything like that. Still plenty of room to work with, both with items and just with overall driving skill. As you can see, he's already fought his way halfway back in 6th place. Seeing what he's going to be able to do from there. Meanwhile, Cunio also currently leading the pack to some end in 2nd place. I don't know who he's chasing down. I think it could be Fate, could be Vertex. You know, those are 2 favorites, I would say, to probably win today, at the very least take definitive placing within the top 3, both of them. But it does look like very far ahead. Now, I'm going to guess that it's probably Fate because it is a Waluigi, so we'll see if Kunio could make his way all the way up there. Meanwhile, Melpool is really not that far off. Does have a mess of things coming up behind him, ranging from a bullet bill to the blue shell. He's safe for all those things, but not safe from Takamarth or Nephew, I guess that is, Nefwe. But either way, yeah, so Melpool is going to start getting hit by the all the crazy weapons being given to the last few places here. That's where it gets really ruthless, because those deep in the race really get all kinds of crazy weapons to try and get caught up, and if you're a little bit near that pack, you get messed up. But oh man, that hurts. Just drops off that 5th place in the 6th, and yeah, that is going to be Scott and Fate taking 1 and 2. Got to look out for Scott64. He does join us a lot of times as well, and also quite the competitor, so also rocking Waluigi. Yeah, everyone gets nice and tilted for Mario Kart today. That's a little due to you, man. It's all taking it in good fun. Mario Kart definitely has a way of getting under your skin if you don't have the right mindset for it. It's a total killer in that regard. You know, I feel like Dixie Kong. Hi, Sweet Lou. Yeah, I feel like Dixie and Diddy, I mean, they're old enough of age to be having children, probably. They came out in the 90s. They're both adults. I don't think that dream is that that outlandish, if you ask me. But anyways, it's Kooky taking a placing that he's not happy with. That's okay. He's got plenty of room to still make things happen. So while we're waiting for everybody to get in the lobby, we could check out Mr. M being spectated by Melpool. So that's always nice. It's always nice seeing some people who are getting spectated, and oh my god, it looks like he might take this race, in fact. Mr. M flexing on him. Yeah, there he goes, getting a very clean first place. I don't know who came up behind him, but you love to see it. Mr. M's been out here week to week putting in that work. But while that's happening, it does look like there's some other stuff happening. Kunio is actually on Skytop Cruise, just getting started there, and I believe Kugi also going to just be getting started on Ribbon Raceway, or Roadway, whatever the heck that map is called. Looks like he's getting going right now, and yeah, while that's happening, there's Kunio plummeting to his death with both Fate and Ursa Major right ahead of him. And actually getting a little bit of a boost from Moral there. Moral Atheist coming in and kind of kicking Kunio back into gear. So with that going on, I do want to kick over and see Moral's gameplay himself, because I'm just realizing he's also in this race. There he is. So we'll see. This is going to be a tight one. Again, Ursa Major, Fate, both in this race. Two very good players. Obviously, Kunio and Moral Atheist, also very good players. But yeah, like I said, Fate is very much I mean, I don't know. He's if there were seeds to these things, he would definitely be a top seed. He's been coming in here like a madman, just taking places. You know, winning races, cashing checks, breaking necks, doing his thing, man. Between him and Vertex coming in here with such a presence in their first few races. So we'll see if anyone's able to catch up, and it does look like Kunio is up to the task since he is currently in first place. And this is that scary position that we see all of the time, where you're in first place, it's the third lap. There's some items you got to count on moving forward, and you got to sort of be swift and getting your way around them. And there we go. Right on cue is a lightning. Going to make Kunio all shrunken right at the wrong time as he catches that red shell over the jump, and now he's got Ursa ahead of him, drops that bomb off, and taking kind of a safe approach over the Leafs, and just enough to secure second place. That's what you got to do. That was looking really ugly there for a second. Things could have went very bad. Kunio kind of kept himself composed, and in second place, and I do believe, yeah, that was Ursa Major taking that first place. Meanwhile, it looks like Fate did drop the 6, and Run 5K also in the mix. Run 5K also coming from Kart Clash, and also very good. No sleeping on him, because he'll take a race if you let him, that's for sure. Take several races if you let him. Anyways, here's Melpool, currently first place. Also in that same scary position that we just saw Cunio in just a minute ago, where, you know, towards the top of the pack with a whole lap left ahead has, who is that ahead of him? Not Takamar, that is Sofranas in first place. Definitely a name I've seen around, but I guess not a name that, yeah, hasn't stuck quite yet. Definitely haven't seen him enter though, so we'll see what he's got. Off the rails though, leaving Melpool a little bit of room to find himself in a much better position. Oh wait, there he is. He's back. He's back, and we are approaching the finish line, so it's looking like it's going to be a W for Sofranos and Melpool. Not a bad second place to take there. Definitely going to take those points to the bank. Takamarth also pretty competitive, so getting those couple points over him, that's a good step. If you're Melpool, meanwhile, if you're Takamarth, you're looking forward to that next race. So with that, yeah, here we are, Dragon Driftway. That's where we're at right now. Just getting started here, and let me get a quick look at where Kugi is, so we can get a little check-in with him. And it does look like he's about to get started on Rainbow Road, so I'll get that to you guys in just a moment, because it looks like we're actually starting a few races right now. Yeah, here we go. Everyone's just getting started here. We got 3 different lobbies. On the top, you can see Moral Atheist and Cunio going at it, Dragon Driftway, and you have Kugi on the very ugly Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road. That I guess is like a space station or something. Again, when this game was new, I guess that was kind of cool because, you know, Mario Galaxy was new, but guess how many years ago that was? A lot of years ago. So, that's what I was saying earlier. This game is actually so aged. Such an aged game. And I do wonder what the future holds for Mario Kart, because Natunis and I were talking about this a lot last week, where if you're a Nintendo and you have a game that's already breaking records on the system and is sort of a staple for your system, like Mario Kart is, you're not really looking to make another one to confuse people. You're looking to basically discontinue ride this one into success. And I don't know if that means we're going to see like a Nintendo Kart. I think that'd be great. Or if we're just not going to see another Mario Kart until the future when the next Nintendo system comes out. But that's actually hard to imagine, because the next Nintendo system is probably a ways out. I feel like the Switch is really just getting moving here. And honestly, the console's fantastic. Aside from being the home of some of these old ports, I think it's going to be getting some more old ports pretty soon. In the form of like Mario 64, we saw those rumors, and then what was the other one? Okay, yeah, there we go. More like he's coming in 4th. Meanwhile, Fate in 2nd place. Sweet Lou, Black Mamba, let's go. That's a really good lobby, taking 2nd and 3rd place. Looks like the grind's definitely paying off for both Sweet Lou and Black Mamba. So all tilt aside, looks like we got some races going on. Alright, so just like that, we are on the last laps of our other 2 races as well. So you see Melpool trying to close it out. Got a little bit of room before he could find himself in that top 3. There he is. Fighting for 3rd place as we speak. Meanwhile, Kugi currently holding it down 2nd with Mr. M right on his tail. You're going to have to be careful to get past him. And oh my god, that red shell is going to be a killer. And that's Vertex sneaking right up behind him. Isn't going to pass. That's actually huge that Kugi was able to hold that off. Vertex is such a force in these tournaments. Meanwhile, Liam getting another 2nd place, Adam another 1st place. So here we are starting to get a little bit of a picture of what's going on today in terms of who's getting the placings, who's not, because we've seen Adam get a couple good placings. Yeah, we've seen a few people really sort of nailing it down, including Liam with a very strong day coming in, yeah, like I said, 2nd place. In 2 races that we got to see. So I don't know what he's done off the screen, but on the screen, we've been seeing him do some good stuff. So here we go. Cuneo gonna get moving. I did not catch who's in the lobby, so I don't know just how competitive this is, but I do see a Waluigi, so I'm going to guess that is someone good, whether it be Fate or who else is using them before. Someone else quite top level. But either way, Cuneo doing a good job separating himself from the immediate pack. That was kind of an important move for him to make, so he made it, and now he's off and running. Meanwhile, Kugi's also getting started. And looks like he's got to deal with, Vertex, Liam again, and Mr. M, who looks like he's just racing pretty strong today. Mr. M has sort of been in the mix. Oh, look out for that banana peel. Look out for that one, too. Yeah, there we go. So Mr. M has been in the mix from what I've seen, and also I believe it was Adam, the other Waluigi player. I might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And there we go. Kugi making quick moves. He's been sort of having that professional polish on his races recently where you'll see him in 12th place, and then all of a sudden he's in 2nd place, and all of a sudden he's winning the race. So keep your eye on Kugi. Don't be fooled by the placings at any given point. He's definitely learning to become one with the item boxes and knowing basically how to predict them and being kind of just overall aware of everything going on any given course at any given time. So we'll see what he's able to do with all of this new power he's got. I know he's been trying a lot of new stuff in terms of starting races from behind and sort of trying to get items. And that is something we've seen work quite successfully with some of the pro players that we get come across these parts. Like we've had Royal back a few weeks ago who came in here doing all that kind of crazy stuff. Also Vanna, another player from the Vegas local scene, brought to us by Knight and Kart Clash. So we've seen this kind of strategy pan out before. And here we are, just like that, lap number 3, and that's a finish line for Kugi in a 3rd place. Look at that, see? Start off so deep in there, still get 3rd place. He's not happy with it, and understandably so. And oh my god, Cuneo barely holding on to that. I think that was Fate almost jumping right past him. Yeah, holds on. Fate, and there's Run 5K and Scott 64. Pack of Waluigi's gonna cap off that race. So I do hope everybody is doing well today. There is a lot down the pipeline for us, or pipeline, excuse me. Going to be having a whole new aesthetic coming pretty soon, where this whole stream layout that was kind of trial for a while is going to be going away, but it's going to be being replaced by something much, much better. So I do appreciate everybody's patience on that. I've been working pretty hard on a lot of different stuff, from the podcast on this channel, from the Smash Local on this channel. Aw, poor Moral. He's all alone. All alone. Oh, well. Kugi's got some friends at the moment. So we're going to hang here for a minute, and then hopefully more people will be finding Moral Atheist quite soon. And yeah, it does look like Donut Plains 3, and we're also going to get Mount Wario on Cuneo's end of things. Meanwhile, Melpool also appears to be going to Skytop Cruise. So we're all over the place right now. We are all over the place with what is now 4 different lobbies. So now I'm extremely curious how many entrants we have today, because if we've been splitting up this much, that probably means we have an okay amount. Or it probably just means that the Nintendo servers are acting whack again, which I'm not going to rule out. And here we are. So, yeah, we do have Cuneo on Mount Wario. Man, it was such a good map. I'll say it every single time. So he's making it happen right now. Currently sitting in 1st place with what appears to be a pretty decent lead. Meanwhile, things are getting pretty muddy in the water for Kugi on Donut Plains 3, and even more muddy with those bananas everywhere. And oh my god, look at his face. I don't blame him. He just got hit by literally everything in the game. So we'll see. At least it all hit at once, and that's a nice little pile of coins to pick up. get some of that top-end speed back. There we go. A couple more coins, and it looks like we're stabilized if we're Kugi. So we'll see what he could do on lap 3. He's got quite a bit of room to work with. He's going to take these little jumps that now he can effectively do because he has the means to do it. Before, he was trying to do that and just got interrupted, and oh no, just cutting his turn a little bit too tight. That is definitely going to hurt. Definitely going to hurt. So this is kind of one of those things where, like I was mentioning earlier for Kugi, you're kind of figuring out how to, all right, fighting for that 7th place. Could have been worse, could have been better. But meanwhile, Vertex is going to go up, and there's Sofrana swatting the cat. Oh, no. Oh, no. I hope we didn't lose him. We may have lost him. It's okay. I understand. I understand. Take a breather. It's all good. Meanwhile, all good for Cuneo as well. Is going to get that 1st place. And see what comes up behind him. Yeah, that's a good one over Scott64. And yeah, Mr. M, we're really doing a good job today. Black Mamba also coming up in that race. So yeah, man, Donut Plains, not cool, bro. Donut Plains, it took my friend Kugi from me. That's what it did. So we'll see. Take a few deep breaths if you're Kugi, or if you're a Kugi fan. I know I'll take some deep breaths. It sucks getting bombarded like that, man. He literally got hit by like everything in the game. Everything you could imagine. There was a lightning, there were some shells, he hit a banana peel. Pretty much everything you could think of. There's no even good way to say it, or just sometimes the game's out to get you, man. Whew. But, you know, there is definitely coming back from that, but understandable if it's not today. So, all right, here we go. Music Park. A little something to lighten the mood for everybody. And I do believe Cuneo also heading to Music Park, so I'm going to go ahead and get you that good dual view between Moral and Cuneo, who are both just getting started. I'm going to get a quick checkup on Melpool, who is still waiting on his next race. Yeah, that race was definitely donut plains for Kugi. I'm definitely not flashing to him, but he's rethinking things at the moment. I don't blame him, dude. Sometimes getting hit like that, that's like that like physically hurts. It physically hurts to just get like destroyed just by items, which are traditionally RNG in the Mario Kart format, or pretty much any Nintendo game. You think about things like Mario Party and everything else, where there's so many random elements. Yeah, it's no different. Honestly, you could even make the same argument with Smash in terms of random elements, depending on who you're talking to and how jaded they are with the game. But in either case, or not jaded, I mean, there's a whole character based on it. But in either case, yeah, here we are well into Music Park now. Now officially on lap 2. Meanwhile, Kugi's still thinking it over. Melpool waiting for his next race, waiting for an F-Zero race to finish. Looks like a bit of a bot-heavy lobby he's waiting for, so updates on that very soon. But before we get there, got a little bit of ways to go in Music Park, and Cuneo. Actually, I'm going to say Cuneo being the victim of some pretty bad Mario Kart RNG a little bit last week. Got to see him sort of get beat up a few times, whether it be items or just circumstance, whatever the case may be, and already having a much better day today. He is really riding strong. Starting lap 3 in a very good position, very, very far ahead of everybody else. Very far ahead of everybody else. And he does have some killers in this track. You can see how far ahead he is because there's a Bullet Bill literally in second place. I'm going to guess that's probably Ursa Major if it's a Link. So we'll see. We'll see what that is at the end of the race. But Cuneo still shrunk and deciding to go for that ramp despite being tiny. I do think it was a good choice in the end. And the gap sort of tightening up for him, but should be safe. Does have the boombox to protect him from anything like a blue shell, because he does have a little bit of a ways before the home stretch, but he is getting to the home stretch. So might be safe. We'll see. I don't want to say anything, but there we go. Speaking of saying anything, that box is gone. The boo, it came, it stole it, but there's the finish line. Not going to be much of impact. That is going to be a clean first place for Cuneo. Meanwhile, Moral Atheist doing a pretty good job himself, crossing second. Very stressed out at the end there with the blue shell coming just for him. Cuneo made it past before that even mattered. Meanwhile, Black Mamba coming third. Scott 64 fourth. Not bad company to be in. That's a tough race. So pretty good for Cuneo. Pretty good for Moral Atheist, honestly. Good job for both those guys. So if you guys are feeling it, definitely go send Kugi some well wishes in the Twitch chat, please. Go tell him you love him. Tell him you feel it for him. I feel awful. I see him there pondering if he should come back or not. I don't have the answer if he should come back or not. I think if you're not feeling it, don't. But obviously, we're going to miss you, man. It sucks. But if you're feeling bad for Kugi, make sure you go drop in his stream real quick. I'm going to put the URL there, and I want you to just tell him. I just want you to tell him. I want you to say, Kugi, we feel it for you, bro. I'm sorry. That shit sucks. Feel better, man. But in the meanwhile, yeah, go say hi. Go tell him. Anyways, here we go. Mount Wario again, although I think this is the first time for Moral, at least that I'm aware of, because I think that was Cuneo on oh, speaking of Cuneo, he is also in this race. So with that, I am going to get him right in the top corner. We're going to want to keep an eye on Cuneo today because he's sort of been the hot hand. He's been racing really, really well. And Moral doing pretty well himself. And you know, so much could happen at the beginning of these races like this. All right, let's open it up here now that the race is off. It's running. Cuneo looking like a very strong competitor today. Does have Ursa Major right in front of him. Ursa is just such a consistently well-performing racer in these circuits. Top eight shoe in all the time, if not like a top 5. Is pretty consistent. All right, so as those guys are approaching, I do want to take a quick look at Melpool, because he is getting pretty close to the end of his race, and we'll see how he finishes. Looking like not the best finish. Does have Fate out ahead of him. Fate looks like he's catching a little bit of the rough item RNG today as well, as that's going to be a 7th place finish for him. Meanwhile, that's Adam in first. Run 5K in second. Vertex in third. Run 5K quietly having a really good, strong day. So we'll see if that's going to be a strong enough day. I do have a feeling it is going to be a strong enough day to probably get him in top 8, because I think he's been amongst the top. I don't think he's won a race yet, but he has been consistent top 3. And the thing about these circuits, oh my God, that was close. That was so close. Cuneo just barely hanging on by a thread. Moral Atheist chasing him down like a rabid dog. Meanwhile, Takamarth in 3rd, Ursa in 4th. Scott 64 in 5th. That's what it's looking like right now. So let's see. Oh, okay. Looks like probably Mario Speedway. Possibly. Is that Hyrule Circuit? What is that? Yeah, that is Hyrule Circuit. So we're going to see Adam, Vertex, Run 5K, Fate, Mr. M, Melpool, Sofranos, and whoever else was under Melpool's camera. So we'll see what kind of start Melpool gets. And again, if you're looking to support these streamers, which you should, because these streamers are literally carrying this stream right now that we are watching, this Master Hand Tournament stream. I'm just putting them all together so we get a better view. These guys are the ones doing all the hard work. They're actually racing, coming in here week in, week out, and getting tilted, all for the sake of our enjoyment. So make sure you support these guys. Go check in on them. If you see them having a rough day, it's like, Kugi, please go wish them well. You know how it goes when you're just having a bad Mario Kart day or a bad any RNG day with video games. It feels bad. So, and even if they're not doing bad, if they're doing good, just go cheer them on. Don't be shy. These guys are all just starting to try and get streaming a bit, build up their communities. So this is a good place to do it. You like the way someone races, make sure you go tell them. It's cool to do that stuff. Contrary to what people want you to believe or whatever social expectations we have, it is cool to tell people when they're doing good jobs. So don't be shy to do that for other people. All right. Nice. Yeah, looking like things are getting a little hot, steamy over here. Over on I guess what's this, Bowser's Castle. And this is a struggle, man. This is the struggle without Nintunis. Nintunis is a dork, so you know. I'm joking. I love Nintunis, but he's got all the details, man. This is Bowser's Castle. He's got all the details on the stages. Nintunis grinds this game a lot too. So having him in here sometimes to keep me honest in terms of just track titles and stuff, because I kind of forget, man. I've played these games for a lot of years where a lot of it has melted together. A lot of it hasn't. A lot of it is individualized in my brain, but things like Mario Kart 8 specifically, kind of towards the end of my fiending Mario Kart lifespan, they didn't stick nearly as much as some of the older tracks, but you know, still good tracks nonetheless. I still really appreciate and love this game. I don't want to give the wrong impression. I'm just eagerly awaiting a newer experience with Mario Kart, personally. Or just karts in general. I did mention, oh no, we getting run over. That's going to be Ursa capitalizing on that. Also, by the way, Melpool coming in 4th. I did miss who came in 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I might recognize a me if I see the crown quick enough, if it pops up. Okay, it didn't pop up. So let's just go back to Bowser's Castle instead and see what the story is. See if Moral's going to continue to march forward and continue having a good day. That's a shame. Got mixed up and shrunk and landed on his own mushroom, but it didn't matter. Meanwhile, Ursa Major is going to continue moving on ahead, and like I said, a shoe-in. A top 8 placer for sure. Moral Atheist also very much a threat to break into that top 8. He's done it before. And okay, yeah, so it sounds like Fate may have won that last race with Melpool. So thank you for the intel on that, Sweet Lou. Definitely appreciate that. And also not surprised. Fate was coming off of, I think it was a 6th place finish before that, so my man's probably angry. Looking to rectify, and that is going to be a 5th place for Moral, a 6th place for Cuneo, and a 1st place for Ursa. Meanwhile, there's Takamarth and Scott64, also very, very consistent. Nefway, also in the discussion. But yeah, Scott64, another one of those just kind of quietly having a good day in terms of just placing in sort of the top 3s very consistently, which is half the battle. Half the battle is literally just maintaining consistent placings. You don't necessarily have to be winning. The wins obviously are going to be very important for netting you a good score in the end, but like getting those 2nds and 3rds, it's a big deal. It's better to get those consistently than get 1st once and then be dropping the 6th, 7th, whatever. That's just sort of how the game goes. So Melpool, not in a bad position. It does look like he is behind Adam and Mr. M, who is now a Donkey Kong main, from what I can tell. He's been playing Donkey Kong, I think, very recently and very consistently, because I believe the last couple times I've seen him, that's who he's been using. And yeah, use that red shell. Absolutely. I think Mr. M did have a mushroom. I don't know what happened to it. He may have gotten sniped actually after he used it, which may have been really strategic on Melpool's end. I just didn't see if it kicked in or not. And here comes the blue shell. This might be just what Melpool needs to nab that 1st place, because that was close. Almost getting ran off the road. So yeah, because Adam is pretty far ahead, so that blue shell is going to be a pretty good equalizer. Although it does look like, I don't know who's tangling with Adam in the front, because I see Mr. M and then there's someone else in there. Someone else in the conversation. Mr. M now nailing that little, I guess I'll call it a little bit of a shortcut right at the end of the lap now, twice in a row. And okay, no, it is Adam in 1st place. Yeah, so Adam's still very far ahead, so we'll see if there's any kind of blue shells that come in and level things out, or if there's a lightning, if that does anything. Meanwhile, Mel is going to zip right past Mr. M. Mr. M did have some mushrooms, though, so might be able to zip right past. It does look as though he did drop significantly now. I see him on the map sort of getting knocked around a little bit. Officially passed by whoever's playing Lemmy, Rosa, and Villager. So that is going to be 2nd place coming in from Melpool. Pretty solid behind Adam, who took that game pretty handily, I would say. Yeah, there we have it, Adam in first, and that's literally just Lemmy and Baby Rosa. So, yeah, that was a bot-heavy round. Meanwhile, a not bot-heavy round. Moral Atheist getting to the last bit of race. He's got Ursa, Sweet Lou. I'm assuming that is... Oh, okay, and there was Luke Skywalker also in that mess. So Moral is going to be the beneficiary of that pile-up. Does sort of get past that bit of traffic. And the traffic's catching up quick. That's Ursa coming right back into it. Ursa definitely out for blood. Probably going to try and get himself, or effectively get himself right back into the discussion for top 3. Enough of the race left to get at least there. It does look like first is already spoken for as a second. Not sure. I think that's probably Liam playing Wario and possibly Fate in first place. Could have been Fate. Could have been Scott64. Could have been Run 5K. Any one of those Waluigis, not sure. That's going to be a disappointing finish for Moral. Okay, yeah, that was Fate in first, and it was Liam in second, so I got that much right. And yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a heartbreaker. A little bit of a heartbreaker for Moral. But Melpool just getting started, and yeah, we did unfortunately lose Kugi, and that's okay, man. You should still go wish him well. It looks like he's doing something fun. Yeah, Moral definitely got robbed there. I definitely will not pretend like I did not see that happen. That one hurts, dude. I'm sorry. So here we go. Let's see what Melpool's got. Currently in good position, but you guys know what happens when you're in first place and only on the second lap. You got to be ready for that kind of thing. You either got to run your lead up so far ahead where the items will make a difference, or you got to, get to a point where you're good at anticipating the items. And even then, that's not always enough. Because you can anticipate a blue shell all you want, but when it hits you, that's totally different. It would be cool if, and I'm pretty sure this is not an option. I'm pretty positive it's not. If you could customize some of these races to basically have certain items or not have certain items in it. I think that would be such a good next step for Mario Kart. A little bit like they do at Smash, where it's like... you can play with items, but you could choose which items you have. I actually think that would be such a cool approach for this game. And who knows, maybe, maybe we'll be surprised one day. Maybe that's exactly what's going to happen, but also maybe not. It's so hard to know. Anyways, hi Kunio. He's back. So, coming in first place, looking clean. Clean first place, and not a bad third place for Melpool. Melpool looks like he's starting to get moving now. So yeah, it's going to be Kunio, Shannon, Melpool, Scott64, and Adam taking a dip in the 6th place territory right above Mr. M. So that's going to allow some people to kind of catch up a little bit, and that is really what everybody needed because Adam's been sort of running away recently. He has been very, very good. Very, very good today. Taking several firsts. Enough to probably make that 6th place not that big of a deal. And in fact, probably still be up in the ranks, but... we'll see. I'm probably, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to get a quick look at the scores so I know exactly what's going on, and I'm proud of myself. I waited like nearly an entire hour, or I guess 50 minutes before I checked on these scores. I would check them all the time if they updated, but the fact that I have to hard reboot the game to check the scores makes me not want to do it. So I usually just wait. And yeah, this is a quiet Glentendo circuit. 18 entrants. And yeah, Adam is currently in the lead at 166, so that is accurate. Meanwhile, Vertex going to take that one with Run 5K. What'd I tell you? Run 5K, just silently having a good day, is currently sitting in the top 10. I have a feeling that he probably entered a little late because he's been getting good places and still in 10th. Meanwhile, Scott64 just above him in 9th place, and Liam in 8th place. 113 is currently the 8th place mark. And just to give you the scope, first place is currently 166 in Adam, followed by Fate at 163, and then a bit of a dip into place number 3 with Kunio at 138. So Kunio having a good day, very much confirmed. And there he is, having his good day. Currently sitting in first place on lap 2 of Grumble Volcano. So He's gonna have to sweat to keep this kind of thing going. And I think he's very well capable. I feel like Cunio has definitely been through the ringer recently. He's been getting beat up in some of these circuits and holding L's that, you know, probably feels like he shouldn't be holding, but it looks like today is a good day for him. So when Mario Kart decides to smile upon you, you don't really ask questions. You just kind of take it. You smile back. You say thank you, and you take your top 8 placing. That's basically what happens. So. Yeah, there we go. It's getting all kinds of messed up between the blue shell, the lightning, everything else. But it does look like Cunio's been grinding a bit, man. He's had enough of a lead where all of that mess didn't really mess him up too badly. And he is on the home stretch, so hopefully far enough from any kind of really bad item RNG in there. Is one more bit of there's one more item block there, so he can expect something to come up behind him. Meanwhile, now he's got to sweat to catch up to Adam. They do split their ways. Going separate place on the volcano, and the finish line just in sight. And oh yeah, Adam already finished. He did that quick. That was kind of ninja-esque by Adam. No surprises though. We all know Adam's very good at this game. So yeah, it's gonna be Adam coming in first. Scott 64 in third. Continuing those solid placings in the top 3. And oh man, Melpool, that was a big drift. That was a big drift over one of the bigger gaps on Mute City that is going to leave him falling a little bit quicker than some of the other gaps where Elkidu just kind of grabs you immediately. So that's going to be a little bit costly, but, you know, lap 2, no sweat, plenty of room to work with. Heck, maybe even get some good items now. And also on the other end of things, Moral Atheist also just realizing up and running at the moment and currently in 3rd place. We'll see where he's able to finish out here. Kuro TTV right ahead. That red shell is going to take out someone for Moral to take complete advantage of, and he's definitely going to take that second. Yeah, that's Vertex coming in first if I saw correctly. Definitely in good company there. Yeah, there we go. And there's a Run 5K coming in 5th. And yeah, meanwhile, on the other end of things, Fate's going to take that 1st place, followed by Sofranis. So Sofranis, not so quietly having a good day. I believe we've been seeing him. We got split screeners, man. That's like, I think about split screen technology. That literally goes back to N64. That technology is like 30 years old, man. It's crazy to think about that. But like, that's where co-op gaming came from. I'm glad. I'm simultaneously glad that Nintendo kept that as a thing and still has that as a bit of the circuit. But it also simultaneously reminds me of Nintendo in general. But anyways, happy to have both you guys here today. Thank you for that. Alright, so I am actually missing some action here. I do believe Cunio is already going, and he is indeed over on Yoshi Valley. Or Meadow. I always forget, dude. I usually call Valley Meadow or Meadow Valley in the Yoshi context way too often. So, anyways. Just the one with the big egg. Cunio looking kind of clean, though. Now asserting himself in 1st place. And, yeah, I can't get over it having such a good day today. So meanwhile, as Moral just starts to get warmed up, we're going to keep watching Cunio and see if he's able to get this 1st place or not. He literally is equipped to, provided, you know, no ghosts come in, no lightnings come in, which is a pretty big if because now he's passed a couple item pools, and here comes another one where people are going to basically get the opportunity to get something to mess him up, whether it be this red shell right now that decided to just eat it. And I actually think that was a good move because he was waiting for that blue shell. Well played. Eating that red shell, getting rid of that blue shell, that's the play you got to make to keep in first. And it does look like very clean gameplay. Clean enough to... Okay, yeah, that second red shell, not much you could have done about that. Oh, that is a heartbreaker. Adam, you sneaky son of a gun. Coming in, stealing that first place. Also well played. I think Cunio did pretty much everything that he could have in that situation. Got hit by the first red shell, saved the horn to get rid of the blue shell, and then there was just the problem was there was 2 more red shells. You even had a banana to cover the second, but again, only so much you could do sometimes. So, like I said, well played, and yeah, it's all you could do. But okay, yeah, so that's Vertex winning that race, Kiro TTV coming in second, and Melpool still racing. So yeah, that's the kind of heartbreak for Mario Kart, man. You could do everything even well in a game that seems like it's all RNG. There is actually some calculations you could make if you're paying attention to item boxes, what items have been coming, where they're coming from. All right, there we go. The solid shortcut by Melpool. Now taking out Liam right next to him. I'm pretty positive that was Liam because Liam's the only one who really uses Wario at the moment. So let's see. A triumphant... Oh, no! That was so close! I think that was Sofranis. It was. Fate coming in first, Sofranis second. Ah, sweet Lou. Liam, 4th and 5th. Man, these are a little cutthroat today. People getting passed at the last second. People getting a little bit sweaty, a little bit tilted. What a day, man. These are actually really, really good races. Coming down to the wire, and a lot of the bigger names you see in taking L's, too. And I say bigger names by people who have been consistently placing really well in these events. The Fates, the Adams, those guys, as dominant as they've been, you're still seeing them in the middle of the pack every once in a while because, you know, that's how it goes. So, yeah, just goes to show you, man, Mario Kart RNG does not favor anyone in particular. Sometimes it's just a real son of a bitch. And sometimes it's out to get you, sometimes it's not. It was out to get Kugi so bad today that he actually tilted himself away from streaming this game. And I gotta tell you, I don't blame him, man. I should have clipped it. I should have clipped the moment that sort of broke his soul. Not because it was sad. It makes me feel bad to think about. It's almost as bad as Baby Park makes me feel in general, or anyone feel. This kind of goes to that custom rule set I wish existed for this game, where if you could customize like what items show up in your circuits, maybe what races, because I bet you no one would want Baby Park at all. Well, someone would. Someone would until it treats them really bad in a position where they need the circuit points, and then they would say, "F this race, get it out of my game." But in the meanwhile, that is definitely not the case, and Mario Kart is not customizable like that at all. So we are going to get to see it, and Melpool handling it pretty well though. I don't know who else is in this race. I don't know if there's any real human threats, because I know a lot of times we get the bot-heavy lobbies, and even in Baby Park sometimes that could be a real blessing because it leaves out the element of intelligent human play, which is very much a real thing. Speaking of intelligent human play, things looking pretty good for your boy Cunio. At the last bit of race and gets it done. Black Mamba looking like he gets sniped right at the end. That's probably going to be Vertex climbing right past him. No, okay. You hang on. It was actually Nefwe who was in 3rd place there. Black Mamba hanging on to 2nd place, so that's a good job because I thought for a second that was going to be some extra tilt for him. But yeah, I saw that. That was a really messy exchange between Nefwe and Mamba, so does hold on. And Melpool, yeah, going to take that 1st place over Sofranis in 3rd. And yeah, man, I was right. It didn't look like quite the crazy element that we're known for Baby Park, but you know what you say, man? We definitely take those. We take those 1st places. We take them every day of the week. I don't know what the answer is to bots in these games and in these lobbies and Mario Kart, but I do know that it's the same for everybody. So if that's what you get, that's what you get. You take it, and that's it. You move up in the ranks. So as I mentioned, today a bit of a quieter day in the Glentendo circuits. I know it is also Father's Day, So a lot of people probably chilling with the dad. I know that is actually where Nintunist is, probably doing the family dinners. But I mean, the show must go on in this case, and I'm glad some of you guys are still here joining us and still here racing, having a good time, and contributing to the stream, dude. Like I said, these streams literally don't happen without the people streaming, so if you've been enjoying watching these guys, I do very much encourage you to go to their individual channels, and I'm going to vow to do a better job to make those URLs more visible. As you can see, I'm going to put Cunio's on the screen right now. Never too late. We are getting towards the end of the run here already. Seeing 17th race pop up on the screen makes me realize how fast these things go. So, and I'm not talking about the karts, I'm talking about the circuits themselves. They literally fly by. Alright, so with his work cut out for him, Cunio is going to have to take on Vertex here. And a few other people I saw in the lobby, and throwing that banana way ahead of time. Almost a pretty good snipe there. Ended up just a little bit further ahead of Vertex than he had planned, but still a pretty good toss. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, I believe, let's see where Moral Atheist is at. I believe Melpool is currently in matchmaking hell, waiting for that to let up. But Moral is, oh, looks like he's in the same race. Very good. Makes things easy. Lap 2. Vertex in first. Cunio is going to let it rip. He's going to try and unload everything he's got on Vertex, who's just a little bit too far range from that boomerang. And there we go. Does make the pass. Does have a green shell to protect him in the meantime. Could play offense with it if he wants. Instead, he's just going to, yeah, there he goes. Tosses it back. Makes a connection. Does have the mushroom. Really good to have in this position. We'll see what he's able to get off of it. And there we go. He's going to cut off some of that last bit of track approaching the lap marker, and going to continue to move forward. That's how you got to do it. Slowly take the ground as you could get it. And does still have defense now with 2 green shells. So if he's got anything coming up behind him, like a red shell or another green shell or pretty much anything, aside from a blue shell, he's going to be able to do that. And is going to make the trade for the double item box. Does trade even with 1 green shell, and there's that blue shell. Right on cue, and not going to be Cunio's problem. Instead, I think Vertex boomboxed it away. I don't know what happened to it. But he's safe from it, and that's going to be another double item box for Cunio. Gives him some room to work with. Definitely let that sucker fly. Getting towards the end, and has a mushroom. This could be it. He's going to cut off the... Oh, no. Does hold on to the mushroom, though. And just enough to still get second, because Nefwe made those quick moves to come in first. I think Cunio kind of, and I thought Cunio had it, was about to pass Vertex and come in first, and ended up being sort of outmaneuvered by Nefwe, who must have been watching and kind of just far enough to stay out of that mess. Okay, so here we go, off to what's this? Yeah, I forget the name of this course. I'm sorry, but anyways, we're here. The place that reminds me of the dessert galaxy, or I'm sorry, the dessert place from Mario Odyssey. Alright, so final lap coming up. Meanwhile, TikTok clock is going to be what we're going to see next for Cunio and Moral Atheist. But before we get to there, we're going to watch to see how Melpool finishes, because he doesn't have that much left of the race. Is just about at the home stretch. Probably going to have a tough time catching whoever that is in front of him. That's Takamarth. Just too far ahead. That green shell's not going to be it. And oh my god, almost getting nipped at by that piranha plant. That was very close. Instead, is going to get past that, is going to get second. Once again, we do take those points. Doesn't matter if there's a lot of people in your lobby. You know, Takamarth is going to take the head-to-head, but either way, like I said, take those points. Take those points while the game gives them to you. So, TikTok clock, another fan favorite, at least one that I really like, dating back to Mario Kart 7 days. Probably I don't know. In my mind, one of the best Mario Karts to exist. And I'm pretty positive that is not a hot take, so take it for what you will. So there you go. It looks like Cuneo holding it down in second, currently battling it out with Scott64. These guys are all up on each other. No social distancing to be found anywhere here, and Cuneo does have the red shell, and I don't blame him for holding on to it. Lets it go, because he does get a double item box now. He's got 2 green shells, and you know what? Why not? That red shell doesn't do you much good if you're in first place. Green shells, though, fantastic. Fantastic defense items. Great to throw back on the next item boxes. You can play offense with them. All kinds of things you could do. Definitely making the right choice. So what we're seeing today is a lot of really good item management out of Cuneo, at least from what I've seen today. That green shell actually being a homie, catching that fireball from totally spinning out. So this is what I was saying before. These green shells, they put in the right kind of work. Unfortunately, both those shells that Cuneo did have are now gone, lost to lightning. Meanwhile, Moral Atheist is leading the trail. Leading the trail, does have defense on deck with the banana peel. And going to get past, and I have a feeling he's going to probably, yeah, does ditch that banana peel, does have an item. Going to look for exactly the right place to use it. Not a bad place to use it. Oh, no. Vertex coming in just in time. Oh, man. Insult to injury. Passes him and throws the green shell back. That's a couple times we've seen Moral just sort of getting the business right before the finish line. That's I'm going to start sending my love out to Moral, dude. That's, yeah, that keeps happening right at the end of the races. And that's what I talk about all the time, where you think you're in good place and on the third lap, right at the finish line, and before you know it, you're getting hit by everything. Everything in the kitchen sink. And that's literally what happened to Moral Atheist right there. So I do wish him a speedy recovery. That is the type of game that hurts a lot in your soul. So, you know, going to wish him well, and also wish luck to Melpool, who looks like he might be, well, Black Mamba now in this, but I don't know if he's still just one-on-one with Takamarth outside of that. He might be. I do see a Lemmy in third place, so it's very possible these are all bots, and that was a lot of fireballs being thrown out really quick. Yeah, Melpool gonna swerve right in front of Black Mamba. Okay, no, this is not bot heavy. There's Kiro TV and also Run 5K, so this is looking like it's gonna be a good race. And there we go, taking a big shortcut. This Melpool, and doesn't really matter if it doesn't totally catch him up in the first. He does get in the cluster for first, and that cluster, it is effed. I'm going to take the high road and not say the F word, and instead I'm just going to say F. And yeah, don't swerve in that green shell. That was a whole lot of people out in front of you, and just like that, you're seeing how close first place is to now sixth place, as Melpool was just sitting in first place not long ago, and now everybody in this very uncomfortable cluster of racers who can probably do anything at any given time to each. And if I'm Melpool, I'm not in any particular use to use these shells, honestly, because, or I'm sorry, these mushrooms, because people still got items. Here's some more items. Let's see what the double box brings them. Got a green shell. Not the best thing to get in fifth place. I guess it has to do with his position, but that mushroom is good. And that's going to bring him right back up to third place, where he's going to be sort of bumping it out with 5K. 5K now on the trail to get himself up to third place, but Melpool also on that same trail, and that is, I guess, maybe a CPU Lemmy, I think, because I didn't see any tag over his head, is going to finally drop and also return the favor to Melpool, doing the same trailer hitch green shell shenanigans that Melpool did to someone just a little earlier. Missing the speed jumps. Finally gets one. Does have some mushrooms on deck. Definitely going to want to use those right now. You gotta. And yeah, I mean, use them the right way. It ended up sneaking out fourth place. Could have been worse. But yeah, so yeah, there's Larry coming in third. Run 5K in second. And I missed who was at first. But with that, here we are. Music Park. Once again, starting to see Music Park a little bit more these days. Music Park was one of those races that we saw so early, so often in the Glentendo circuits, and starting to make a little bit of a resurgence these days. And there we go. A couple solid placings there at second and third for Cuneo and Morrow, respectively. And meanwhile, Vertex claiming his stake at first place at 226 points right now. So I would imagine that puts him pretty far up there in the ranks of things. Okay, so I think now is plenty of good time to get an update on the scores. Because everybody's waiting in the lobby. It does look like is everybody together now? I don't think everybody's together now. Melpool is still separate, and Melpool off to Neo Bowser City is going to be with the company of Ursa Major, Run 5K, a ton of people who are still huge threats in the circuit overall. And he's off, so let's see what he's got. Got Ursa right on his tail. Kiro, there we go. Kiro TTV also off to a pretty good day. And like I said, let's look at these scores as we get to Cuneo's 20th race. Yeah, those mini lobbies are pretty popular today, considering we have 18 entrants today. So the mini lobbies are a thing that definitely happened. That is for sure. All right, so we've made it up to 19 entrants. That's getting a little closer to the average. And a quick score update for you guys. Fate very much in first place at 253. About a nearly 30-point disparity with Vertex in second place. Very close with Adam in third place. Honestly, Cuneo very much in discussion as well. Also in fourth place. And that's where the dip starts to come in. Ursa Major in fifth place at 174. Everybody from fourth place up is at 215 or higher. So that top four looking very strong today. And meanwhile, that 5 through 10 also looking very competitive, ranging from 174 points to 159, including the likes of Scott64, Liam, Run 5K, Takamarth, and Melpool. So these guys are all very much in the thick of things and battling it out. So these individual placings, they matter. They very much matter, and that's why I was saying it in Melpool's case. You know, if you get an opportunity to get that first or second, even in your smaller lobby, you take it, my friend. You take it and you run with it. And that's going to be a tough placing for Cuneo. That one is going to hurt a little bit. That's going to allow Ursa, who's not in that race, but is going to allow Ursa to start making a little bit of a point jump up. And there we go. Yeah, Ursa getting second place there. So that's going to be a little bit of a closed gap between fifth place and fourth place. One that probably has some kind of implication to top 8 altogether. So while we're waiting for everyone to get started, I will thank all of you once again for joining us and hanging and entering the Glentendo circuits. If you're here just checking in with it or just hearing about it, or this is your first one, this is everything you need to know. This is a slide that's due to get updated. It's been about 3 months, so we're at that point where things got to be up to date, or updated rather, and reflective of some of the newer things. But either way, you know, you could join at any time if you were unaware of that. There's a tournament code, and right now the only thing you'll really get are some good games. But if you join with at least an hour and a half of your time to spare, then you get the full circuit in. But, you know, never too late to join. Either case, let's see where we're going for Melpool. And is everybody in the same place? I believe everybody is now officially in the same place. So there we have it. Looks like we're all going to Ribbon Road. Ribbon Road. Yeah, here it is in all of its glory. Ribbon Road, the 21st race for Cuneo, who is nearing the end of his run. Still the 19th race for Melpool, who still has basically an entire circuit after this from conventional Mario Kart rule sets. And I'm not sure where Moral is. Looks like Moral is trying a strategy in the meanwhile. It looked like he did one of those purposely waiting to be in last place tricks, and I'm curious to see how it pans out for him. Moral's a pretty heads-up player and seems to learn the game better and better with time, and just whipping through here with his bitty buggy. So we'll see if holding off in the beginning was the right choice or not. It does look like he's moving very well, though, so here he is in the thick of things, and just like that, wow, what a madman. He's even surprised his own driving. Goes from 12th to 5th almost in no time. Meanwhile, you just have some sound driving on the side of Cuneo, who is currently in second, and leaving that bomb behind him. I don't know if it hit anyone. I didn't see Link do the pop-off or anything, so I'm guessing it didn't. But not a bad place to drop it, just unfortunately it gets past all the while. So, well, that's all going on. Melpool also in this race, and currently in a very good position in third place with Adam. I believe that was Adam right next to him. I think that was that. Oh no, it's a Shy Guy. I thought it was a White Yoshi. And I'm guessing that's Vertex up front with the Roy. I know that's usually the main. All right, so Melpool in a very good position here. Could potentially, yeah, waiting out that blue shell and does the pass. Vertex, though, speedily gets out of that a little bit of a mess that he found himself in with the blue shell. Well played by Melpool, but Ursa Major right there to capitalize nonetheless as well. And here's everyone else catching up, including the likes of Liam. And there we go, everyone going for that shortcut instead. Melpool's going to take the safe way around. And I don't blame him. He's off to a good track and could still... Okay. Does manage to avoid that red shell behind him. And be careful of those bananas. That's Cuneo. Yeah, 7th and 8th place for Cuneo and Melpool respectively. Meanwhile, Vertex is going to take that. Going to push himself up above 250. With Ursa just narrowly missing the 200-point marker. He's going to be getting there real soon, though. And it does look like we're all staying together. And that's good, because this is the last bit of races for Cuneo. Approaching the last bit of races for Melpool. We're going to have to wait and see where Moral's at. This race is going to let us know. And then that's going to be it for us tonight. Just like that. These circuits, they come and they go. And we've had a lot of really close races today. A lot of item shenanigans. A lot of tightness from some of the racers, getting nipped last minute and tilted. Yeah, that's all I got. So here we go. Hero TV, Melpool, Ursa, Adam, Liam, Moral Atheist, Vertex, Cuneo, 5K, all going at it at Twisted Mansion. This is indeed Moral's 21st race, Cuneo's 22nd, and Melpool's 20th. So our coverage is going to end in about 3 to 4 races. At that point, it'll be up to you guys to, keep it to the social medias, see what happened afterwards, see what the top 8 looked like, or I guess just look in your game tournament results after everything's all said and done. But you can find all that stuff on our Twitters, the Master Hand Gaming Twitter, on the Super Glentendo Twitter, all these things made to give you the information and the outlet for what you're looking to do here with these tournaments. Moral's off to a hot start, only behind Hero TV and now Vertex. I think that's Liam out there too. That hot start becoming real cold. All it takes is a green shell being thrown back at you. Someone ditching it for a new item box, and you may have got hit by a green shell, but also got 3 more. So maybe not all that bad. We'll see what he's able to get done. We'll see what Moral can do with these green shells. Meanwhile, we'll have Boo on deck and is going to just get rid of those green shells and just opt for the Boo. Does get a mushroom out of it. Not a bad call. We'll see what the mushroom can get Moral. And decides to just kind of use it going off there and gets another boo. This time gets a red shell. Probably pretty good for the position he's in. Got a whole nother mushroom to go. Is going to use it, get a brand new item. And it looks like it didn't register, or maybe he just threw that red shell immediately. And wow, dude, Liam just using that boombox in neutral like that. I think he started to feel everybody around him and just decided to let it rip. And probably not a bad choice. I mean, it definitely messed up. Looked like it messed up Moral, messed up Kiro, and a couple other people in there. Alright, so let's focus in on Cunio, who is, lands that banana, but I don't know what happened with Adam. I think maybe he got a star or something, if I saw correctly, and wow, yeah. Not too dissimilar to some of what we saw happen to Kugi earlier, where there's just a big old mess. And there we go, man, right at the last bit of the race. Messing people up. Cunio is caught in the wake of all that disaster, as is Moral. Enough to make you sick some days. So let's see where we're going next. Possibly Rainbow Road. Results so far, I'm going to get a jump on that right now, as a matter of fact, since we got a little bit of time before we actually start this next race. Let's take a look. It looks like the results at the moment, with our 19 entrants, are going to include Fade at number 1 at 293. Really sticking out from the crowd. Meanwhile, we got Vertex also with a very high score at 268. With the next closest to that, Adam, who has been very good today, just has taken a couple L's at like 6th, 7th place a couple times. And then Cunio still in the discussion at 233, and then a little bit of a dip at 5th place. I got people just breaking 200 points, including Takamarth and Ursa Major. But those guys did start a little bit late, and Melpool just flirting with that 200 mark. Is definitely going to pass that after this race coming up. And it does look like we're Splitsville finally. Got a little bit of a different look this time around. Alright, both these guys looking good in both their respective races, but again, so early. Too early, really. Too early to tell what's going to happen. There's probably predictions you can make based off of like second laps in Mario Kart, but this is kind of where things get really out of control in terms of items and you know what hits who and who's where and who gets to take advantage of people getting hit just like that. That's Cunio getting hit with lightning just as he was making a big jump. But is still going to hang out in first place, not in a bad position, as Ursa Major just sort of zooms by. Did not look like he was shrunk. So it was either his lightning or he was in a position where, oh wow, that was scary. Just getting past that bomb. But or coming to a point where he was a little further back, so the effects of the lightning wore off a little bit quicker. Alright, so Melpool also second place, Music Park. Whole another lap to work with. Meanwhile, we're going to see if Moral could get a little bit further past this 9th place mark after a couple races where things... Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. There's the Mario Kart RNG. But speaking of Mario Kart RNG, at least you got a couple mushrooms out of the deal. You know, it might feel like you're far behind, but I guess it could have been worse. It could have been no mushrooms there. It could have been like bananas or something. But instead, we'll see if Moral can get himself into that top 5. Very possible. And just as I say that, very good time for that Bullet Bill. Is going to secure him 7th. You know, definitely not what he was looking for. Definitely not what he needed. But unfortunately, what he got. Meanwhile, Ursa Major is going to take it with the pair of links at the top. And getting the job done for Hyrule. And it does appear that Melpool won that last race. And it looks like he had the small lobby with presumably Takamarth. And that's got to be Luke the Snywalker also in there. So, approaching the end here, we are officially, it is 8:30. Which means we're going to be running out of races very soon. Although not yet.
Huh. Yeah, my internet's been doing that lately. It's been like, it'll cut out for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, right? And it's enough to just disconnect me from random things.
Oh, someone's sound just kicked on. Oh, it's cool. That's so weird. Alright, well, I got to mute that.
Chill.
There we go. Okay. That actually spooked me a little bit. Okay, we're good. 22nd race for Melpool. Meanwhile, Cuneo also getting going. I believe this is the 23rd. These guys get going. I'm going to watch the beginning of this race since we could kind of watch it together. Get a little bit of a fuller scope, and this is towards the end of Cuneo's run. So don't really want to miss that because Cuneo has been actually quite competitive today. After a couple circuits of getting a little bit beat up, I guess. It does look like he maybe hit the lab and maybe hit the time trials, and oh, Piranha Plant. That's Liam's Piranha Plant running wild, snipping at everybody. Gonna let that red shell rip, and the red shells on Toad's Turnpike, not really the best item to get if you're trying to use it offensively, because there's so many ways that you could basically ditch those red shells by basically driving in between some of the traffic so it hits a bus or something. Some very good driving by Cuneo, weaving in between all this crazy traffic, all these buses. Everything going the wrong way. I don't know who would ever design a race course going against head-on traffic, but the Toad Kingdom apparently ran by a bunch of madmen. Thanks for coming, Sweet Lou. Definitely appreciate it. Hope you had fun today. GG's. Making full use of those emotes. That's what they're there for. Alright, so these guys are going to continue to battle out, and Moral getting 2nd place. Definitely much better than the past couple races, and that's going to be Cuneo. Definitely take that 3rd place and run with it. Vertex coming in 1st. Liam 4th. Run 5K 5th. So with that, let's see where Melpool finishes out. And that is going to be 2nd place for him. Meanwhile, Takamar taking 1st. Luke 3rd. Don't mind the changing things on the top. GG's Nufwe. Thanks for coming, man. So yeah, as I mentioned, we are kind of close to the end of the run. And just like that, I think Cuneo is officially done. And I'm actually looking at his screen at the results because they're up to date. Yeah, there we go. So there you're seeing, wow, Fade at 323? Is that, oh my god. I guess we haven't been seeing the lobbies with Fade in it, but Fade's been cleaning up. Meanwhile, yeah, there you have it. 10th place, that 197 mark is going to be enough to secure that. And while that's going on, let's get Moral's on his final race, so we don't want to miss that. Meanwhile, where did it go here? All right, yeah, there we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Fate's a really good player. Fate at 323, looking for that fabled perfect score. Yeah, 323, not a bad attempt at a perfect score. Perfect score being 360. Actually, that might be the new high score for the Glentendo circuit. I don't mark my words. I'm also not sure if he's done with races or not. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm going to keep my eye on that. But another really, really strong day from Fate. No surprise. We were talking about that way from the beginning today. So shout outs to Fate, man, coming out here and showing us how it's done, really. Guy's got such a good control over his Mario Karting. So yeah, that's Melpool gonna be caught up in all kinds of a mess right back there, and Moral still hanging in there, not in a bad place. So let's see if Moral could keep this momentum for the last bit of this lap. You're going to have to factor in, there's some item boxes right there, so you have no idea what's going to come out of those. Meanwhile, it does look like he is... Yeah, there's a blue shell. That's actually going to be helpful for Moral, provided that there's no boombox to defend against it. And oh, man, just cutting that a little bit too hard. Does get a little bit of a boost in that red shell. Getting deflected by something, but either way, second place, not bad. That's what he was kind of chasing down to begin with, so does get it. Meanwhile, it does look like Takamarth does win that with Snywalker and Sofranos also in the mix. I think that was it for Moral Atheists, so, you know, again, make sure you go say hi to these guys, make sure you go support them, and tell them how much, you know, tell them how much you appreciate them. Like I said, these streams literally don't exist without these guys streaming their point of views. And despite all of the things to tilt them throughout the races, they're still out here week in and week out. So I definitely want to just keep expressing my appreciation for that because relatable. I'm on that same end. But this is going to be the last race for Melpool, I believe. So we'll see how this all goes, and we'll see if Melpool could secure himself in that top 8, because I know it was getting a little bit competitive in that end. So we'll see what happens, but get the big camera for this, and it does look like, yeah, there's Sofranos, Snywalker, Takamarth, so a little bit of what we were just seeing. Takamarth at 245. Yeah, here we go, Melpool's final race. So let's see what he's got. Let's see what's going to happen. While that's happening, I'm going to get the game ready for basically for the last score update we're going to get for the day, which is going to happen after this race. I'm going to wait till this finishes, and then that's going to count everyone that we are watching, and that should kind of get a good picture of what the top 8 looks like outside of when 9 o'clock comes rolling around and it actually ends. But nice use of the mushroom there. Melpool cutting off all kinds of track there and getting ahead kind of quick. Gonna continue to press, riding that turn very tight. Grabs a double item box. Already has one item though at play. Not gonna get anything really good. He is in first place after all, and he's actually got a pretty decent lead at that. Does look like Sofranos is not that far behind. And there's Takamarth also not that far ahead now. So, you know, there's, I think, 4 people in this lobby, so things could get a little bit, what's the word? Ugly, I guess. Things could get a little ugly. We'll see. When it's only 4 racers, things get a little bit personal because it's only so many people that could really use items on you, and then you get the insult to injury with all the bots in the back that get all the crazy items. And oh, driving a little bit too close to the edge there. Okay, I see why. He saw that blue shell coming. I actually was not paying attention to that. So yeah, slowed up just in time for that ramp with the speed burst, and that was, or I'm sorry, with the glider, and that was actually a really smart move by Melpool. Well played. So ended up waiting out that blue shell, and now finds himself continuing his place in first. But so Franos right there on his tail, as is whoever else is behind him. Yeah, Takamarth. So now he's got both these guys ahead of him, and this is the time. Yeah, this is the time to make the pass if you got it. And there's a red shell. That's going to hurt. Run 5K is going to take that shot. And I don't blame him. Get that double item box. Let's see if you got anything to get back in. That's a little bit of a rough draw. Yeah, you got to probably get rid of those green shells. And yeah, not much you could have done there. Didn't really get the RNG you needed to get him back into place. That one's going to hurt a little bit. Not the best race to go out on, but overall, pretty good day for Melpool. That is going to be Sofranos. Coming in first, Melpool getting that 243, and yeah, now we are ready for that final score update. And again, you know, be sure to drop Melpool a follow. Go check out his stream. Go tell him to feel better. A little disappointed in that last one. I don't blame him. It definitely happens. Today's been a big day where I feel like I just want to console you guys. It's been rough, man. I feel like everyone's been getting the business by some of the item RNG. So let's check out. Okay, Melpool actually does have another race. All right, so okay, looks like we ended up hitting 20 racers. That's cool. Someone must have joined in very late. So yeah, here we go. Does look like Fate does finish at 323. Meanwhile, Vertex at 293. Unless Vertex he might be done. So he's either going to just miss 300 or has another race. Not sure yet. But Adam, despite the strong day earlier, is going to taper out at 268, but still plenty to get that third place finish. Cuneo, despite being done a little while ago, does tie for fourth place with Takamarth. And 255. You can see today was definitely very middle heavy. That's why you don't really see many people above 300. Fate's the only one who really was able to keep himself clear out of that range and keep those really big enough leads to take that 323. Man, that's a lot. That might be a record for us. I have to check on that. Let's see. Currently, Run 5K making that top 8 at the moment. We'll see. I don't know who else is still in it or not, but currently sitting in there, Ursa Major. Looks like he's probably secured in the top 8 with 241. Melpool, though. Dude, take that 243, 6th place. That's not bad, dude. Top 8 finish. Solid. Anyways. So, yeah, it's going to be Glentendo Circuit for the night, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming around and hanging. And if you had fun with this, we do Mario Kart every single Tuesday. Right now, it says team races, and that's what we've been doing. But as you guys are well aware, anyone who were watching last week or been following Glentendo circuits in general, you know we are very much trying to move past red versus blue team races because they suck. And we're all kind of tired of them. So hopefully we see battle mode this week. I don't know what Glenn has in store, but if we do, I will be very excited on Tuesday. I am going to try and have the new presentation done by Tuesday. That's something I wanted done today. I just ran out of time, but if you like these races and just want to get more in, be sure to come every Tuesday. You'll at least get to play against some good players. But yeah, this has been Glentendo Circuit. As you guys know, every single Sunday, competition is stiff just because today's Father's Day. Don't be fooled. We get lots of really good racers today, which we still had today, but usually they come out in even bigger numbers. So something to keep in mind. Meanwhile, if you're looking for some things that aren't Mario Kart but are still very Mario, you do have Smash Brothers tournaments on this channel every single Thursday. This tournament has gotten a little bit of a revamp recently. We got some commentator cameras. We got some newer presentation, and these tournaments hit like 80 to 100 entrants every week. So if you're in the Smash and just want to chill for the night, be sure to check us out and come chill with us. But as I said, this has been the Glentendo Circuit every single Sunday. Having a good time here. Appreciate all you guys who've been coming, watching, playing, whatever you're doing. I appreciate it big time because we're now on 3.5 months doing these, and honestly, each week has been pretty good. So with that, appreciate you guys. Good games, and I hope everybody has a very, very good night. Good night, everybody.